right, welcome back. So got this thing on the bench after out speed ripping it, and we're gonna take a look at a few things. But after I finished the last video, I decided to run this RC. I did roll the camera, but it wasn't meant for a video. It was more meant for me, which I do a lot of the times. I don't show everything. Sometimes we go out there and rip and test and do that kind of stuff. A lot of boring stuff that just doesn't make the videos. And I got a couple of clips I figured I wanted to share with you guys to show not everything goes well. And what I think of this platform. If you take a limitless like that or an infraction like that and you go speed rip it, whenever you crash, you cause a lot of damage, which is very costly to those RCs. And as you see, that's the giveaway one. But even flipping it or tumbling it, you break stuff on that thing, and it requires pretty much almost a full rebuild every time you do it. It's very rare that they survive and that they go straight afterwards with the metal chassis. You're going to see some crashes of me pulling the trigger too hard, trying to push the numbers, because I know this one has the power and has the kick in it. You guys are watching me pull the Vendetta in this, and they're going pretty straight, and the speed rips look very controllable. But that's years of me doing speed runs, and this is what I think the speed community is talking about when they talk about giving you the gearing to go fast. Because I can give you the gearing, doesn't mean you're going to run the numbers that I run, and everybody has to be prepared for that. Innovation RC, as you see, one of his first rips, he pulled the trigger really hard and lost control, or started to lose control, and almost ran into himself, because the power that they have. And that's where Roz pretty much took the perfect pass and tried to eliminate that, to give everybody the opportunity of just pulling that trigger fully and let the perfect pass make the pass for you. But are you really driving the car? So I can see the controversy there with the perfect pass. But it does give you a way to run your RC without crashing every time, without going through the steps that most of the speedrunners out there have learned over the years of crashing, buying parts, learning gearing, all that stuff. So I understand why some guys don't give gearing. I give gearing because I know at the speeds that I'm running, they're not record-breaking numbers. It's basically a starting point for most of you guys out there. But go ahead and take a look at this video, and at the end of the video, we're going to go ahead and pop this thing apart and see how it survived. Take a look at this video. Alright, we're going to try one more rip. I don't have much GoPro battery left, and I have no more batteries. So we're going to hit start. It's testing. We're going to give this thing one last go. And I got to tape the front. Keep that body down. I can hear the truck starting to come in, which that's my cue to leave. And the sun's facing directly at me. Hopefully the GoPro has enough life in it to catch this run. Hopefully it doesn't flip. Oh, there's a car coming down here. No car that way. And he's going right into the lane where my car's at. Well, I can't see the car. Oh, I'm all over the place. Yep, I pulled the trigger way too hard on that run. But the body saved it. I was all over the place. I couldn't see it. Read 75 miles an hour, got out of control. So we're going to try to do that again. Hopefully the motor's not too hot. Start. It's testing, and there's a car coming. I'm really pushing my luck today. Sun's right in my eyes and all shadows down there from the trees. And I'm pushing my luck because of these cars that keep coming out everywhere. And I know that the truck gearing's not sounding too good. I have to keep taking my eyes off the car so I lose sight of it. I was literally, by the time I got to me, I was only half trigger. See, I can't even see the car. And I don't see a car down there. So here we go. All over the place again. Yeah. I can't pull it hard enough. I can't get far enough away. So I'm gonna call that a day before I destroy this thing. Trying to keep this body down. Hopefully the GPS is here. And I don't think the GPS is here. I see something in the road right here, which is my GPS. When it tumbles like that, can't keep the GPS in there. Stop, read 72 miles an hour, and it flipped. The wind and everything out here, just trying to push that last run. Too many shadows. I'm trying to kick the power on too fast, and that's resulting in the car spinning around and then flipping. So best I got today was 89 with this thing. We'll continue to make some changes and hopefully get it to 100, but not too bad. Like the Vendetta, we're basically there, but with a lot more money. And as you can tell, because it's based off a big rock, the chassis is pretty bulletproof, even in crashing it. But the sun's just too low to keep beating this body up. I don't even know if I never heard a tire blow out or anything. Get this thing unplugged. All right. Well, hopefully that'll show you how strong this platform is and how much of a beating this thing will take without bending a chassis, without damaging a body. Didn't burn a hole in the body. You can see that the front tires are growing to where they're eating up the front part of this body right here. So we're going to make some changes to that, because tire rubbing in the front like that isn't doing us any good. Having a low body is great, but if your tires are hitting the body, that's slowing your wheel speed down, which that drag is taking power out. The other thing I want to check is I want to check this slipper clutch. That's the main thing I want to check today is the slipper. And I want to look over everything with those tumbles, because the body's enclosed. Unlike an open wheel, you don't end up busting off the wheels, which is great on the Vendetta and the Infraction. Both of them are really good platforms for the beginner speedrunner. I really think that this is an awesome platform for beginners and people that aren't beginners. You know, like me, I'm not a beginner, but I know I can have fun with this platform, and it's not going to cost me an arm and a leg in repairs, especially once I get this thing dialed in. So usually crashes and stuff like that I won't put into videos. I don't crash that much anymore. Used to crash all the time, almost every time out, but you learn and your crashes get less and less. So what I'm going to do here is I want to take a look at this slipper. I want to take a look at this drive shaft with all that power going through it. Making sure that it's not flaring these ends. Making sure that we're not losing anything through there. Slipper still feels really tight. My O-ring on the drive shaft literally slid all the way back, which that's weird. The O-ring didn't even stay in place, which it's supposed to stay right in that groove up there. So like I said, I do have the sensor wire plugged into this thing. I have everything tucked into this wire holder down here. And Castle gives you a lot of wire. So as you see, look at all that wire. I want to take a look at the pinion and spur. Come on, stay out. The gear's holding up really well. I want to make sure my pinion didn't come loose. So the slipper did slip. According to my line, it moved over 1, 2, 3, 4 teeth. So I'm going to show you guys, see if I can capture this on camera. But here's my line that I put in there, and there's my other black line on the pad right there. So we moved over a little bit, and that could have been on one of those crashes. And that's what's good about the slipper clutch, or me pulling the trigger hard. I wouldn't imagine, I don't imagine that it's me pulling the trigger. It was probably on the impact of landing, which cushioned some of the blow and probably saved the gear, because being a plastic spur, if you lock this thing and you have a bad crash and you're on and off that trigger without a slipper, without give, you can snap the drive shaft, you can strip out the teeth on here. Even on hard braking, you could strip out these teeth. But everything's looking really good. I don't mind that little bit of slippage, because I know that was on those 2 later crashes that I had. It's not spun all around, and the pad lines up with the gear mark, which is really good. So that's showing me that that little bit of protection there on that slipper clutch did what it was supposed to do. So even being a plastic transmission housing and all that, it's lightweight. There's no aluminum on it. The gear seems to be doing pretty good. I think what we're going to do, see the mesh and everything's really smooth now. So it really wore in there on those runs. Bearing, everything's feeling really smooth now, which is what I was expecting after doing a few runs, especially since I'm way oversized on that gear, and that gear was rubbing the housing a little bit. There we go. It's always good to inspect, especially after a crash as hard as those were. Everything's starting to seat pretty good now. So you can see where it rubbed in the front on the chassis. It also rubbed in the back on one of those tumbles. Caught my diffuser, but that's to be expected. I don't see anything loose, anything falling off. All the tires stayed glued down. Looks like there's a little play in there. That's kind of strange. And these tires held up pretty well for those impacts, and for growing as hard as they're growing. just came a little loose. Check the upper. Yep, that one was a little loose too. So definitely always look over your RC, because you do find stuff that's loose occasionally, and you don't want it falling apart on a speed pass. But overall, this chassis did awesome. As you see, those were pretty bad crashes, and it survived like the Big Rock, and that's why I think this platform is really good, whether you get the Vendetta or you get the Infraction. I like the Infraction Mega Bot, but this Vendetta has really got me I'm really impressed with the speeds and the numbers this thing's putting out. So there we go, guys. Hopefully this helps you guys. We are going to take it back out, and I got some changes that I'm going to make to it, especially when it comes to the body. I got to plug my sensor wire back in. With the tires rubbing on the body. So I'm going to make some changes there. I'm probably going to shoe goo the front here to reinforce it. I've watched some guys burn through the body already. As you can see, I've already taken the paint down right there. This side's starting to. So I'm going to reinforce this. I'm going to reinforce the top. I'm not sure if I should vent the top of these things like the Vendetta. But for now, I'm going to leave it closed up. I'm not going to open these up yet. But I am going to reinforce the body right here. And then I'm going to see if I can heat it up and flare out the front of this body just a little bit to get the tires to stop rubbing here. And that's tire growth and turning. Trying to keep it straight when the tires really ballooned out. But there you go, guys. Hopefully this helps some people. Get out there. Start ripping your... yeah, see, that's a lot smoother than when I first took it out. It's starting to break in now. It's going to start picking up some mile an hour. But, yeah, get out there and start ripping yours. I can't wait to see some of the numbers get put up there on these things. And remember, keep them light. I've already trimmed the wing down. I'm going to trim the wing down even more, and I'm going to modify the body. So mainly the work I'm going to do is going to be on the body. But there we go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching.